Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 241 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of August 19th, 2023. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me, I have Nicholas Wakefield, TJ Sakosio, and Tyler L. Joining us as our fiery guest and one of the newest hobos, Vertwed.
Vertified.
And before we all have to leave, because most of us have a hard out, the train will terminate at this station. Agilities, where are we?
We are in scenic Flagstaff, Arizona. Scenic, quote Flagstaff, Arizona. On the BNSF Seligman subdivision, mile marker 344.1.
Okay, Foamer.
Well, I live here, so.
Where's the steam engine?
It's behind the building.
Oh.
Yeah, he's homeless. He lives on the platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen on the left side. He's directly behind that.
He lives. He lives on the station.
I think the highest number of people that I've been in a room with sleeping since I was in summer camp was in the Flagstaff Depot, as dozens of us waited for a 4-hour late Southwest Chief.
I think
That
also the
sounds
Flagstaff
about right.
cam probably has the most horsemen on it than any other cam.
Maybe. If we could get people in front of the Danbury cam, I don't know about that. Not Danbury cam, the Davisville cam. That would be easier. But, unfortunately, it points at a chain link fence.
Yeah, it's a really shitty camera.
It is awful. I'm so bummed about it because I always want to vote for it because Rhode Island, but it's just worthless.
I always vote for it. Whenever they announce it, I always vote for Davisville.
You should really put a cam on Kingston Station.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, isn't there supposedly isn't there a railroad museum in there, technically?
There's a thing in there. It's something. I haven't been in Kingston Station in a while.
I have enough cameras staring at me, so I'm good.
No, we're gonna put one on you. We're gonna need you to wear a virtual railfan body cam to work.
Oh,
Yeah, we just
Jesus
need
During the
Christ.
strike.
We just need like a camera somewhere where the Acela goes really quick.
Yes.
Oh,
Anyway, put it in Warwick, or point it at like Cranston Yard. Although no, the Acela goes slow through there. Anyway, let's get to the wrecks this week. We had
Put
two.
one at the Eagle's Nest, that like Crow's Nest or whatever, that restaurant where it goes over the viaduct.
Yeah,
Number one is
that's a
TJ.
good restaurant. Anyway, Canadian National, who was the former holder of the mantle, crashed twice in the span of 3 days. The first one was in Wainwright in Alberta, where 2 trains collided. I don't know if they grow corn here, but it looks like a cornfield meat to me.
It's
No.
2023, and we still have the urge to collide headfirst into each other.
Yes. Unfortunately, no boiler explosions. But yeah, they ran 2 trains into one another. It wasn't a head-on. There was one that was, I guess, fouling a switch or crossing a switch, and the other one came in on the other leg of the switch and derailed 7 cars, leaked some fuel. No hazardous materials aside from the diesel fuel, so not very exciting, but there were 2 trains involved. The other one, which is much more exciting, involved a train and a tanker truck, and I can't look at it for some reason because it doesn't want me to... Oh, please just... Okay, hold on. It's a giant fireball. A tanker truck was hit by a Canadian National local, burst into flames. Dramatic pictures.
God.
Looks like awesome. I don't think anyone died, which is great, but it looks a mess.
Yeah, collisions with a fuel truck probably. I would put that things you would not a crew does not want to collide into at a crossing. It would be fuel trucks and log trucks in that specific order.
Log trucks, because you're going to get Final Destination. Where does M1 Abrams fall on the list? Just out of curiosity.
I have not heard any stories of any AA from Stank. Then again, they're mostly behind us because we're pulling stuff for army moves.
Anyway.
Man.
What does that sound? Okay, it stopped. That was a strange noise. Sounded like something fell into a fan on my computer, but I don't think it was coming from my computer. Anyway,
Oh.
Third wreck, Union Pacific in Memphis. A bunch of center beam cars.
Memphis.
Yeah, that's it. Like nothing really to it. Fourth wreck is in Oklahoma somewhere, according to this paper.
Yeah, the wreck occurred in Moore, Oklahoma, which is just due south of Oklahoma City. Some people may be familiar with Moore also because it got hit by two F5 tornadoes, one in 1999 and one in 2013.
Jesus.
Most unlucky city.
Yeah, I don't know about them, but I want less Oklahoma. With that in mind. But yeah, just a bunch of grain cars. It looks crazy because it's up on like a hill, but it's not explodey. I think my vote goes to one of the two CN wrecks. I just don't know which one. But before we cover that, the current holder of the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility is everyone's favorite town-destroying railroad, Norfolk Southern, which I'm sure we're not talking about East Palestine, but they did open a thing. They opened like an
Well, we
office
will
in East
talk about it,
Palestine. Yeah, like it's not part of the major news. I just figured I'd mention that because I don't think it cannot be mentioned.
God.
Yeah, that's NS repaying them, is saying, we're going to open an office in your town. Frankly, if I lived in East Palestine, I'd be like, how about you just get out?
I feel like I would be going like full Liam Anderson actionable threats on the subject, so we're just going to move on.
Planning the invasion.
Yeah. So, what do you guys, out of the two CN wrecks, because I don't feel like anyone's voting for the UP or BNSF wrecks, best wreck this week?
Pyrotechnics.
The Pyrotechnics?
Yeah.
Fireball, yeah.
Yeah.
Concur.
Okay, well,
I will abstain.
it's going to be the Pyrotechnics then. I will give the pity vote to the two trains in a cornfield. But, yeah, okay. I will post these things in the cargoes, which I realize I forgot to make. So I'll go do that now, and everyone else can talk about what they've been doing in the past couple weeks, and then I'll talk about what I did yesterday.
Get your mom.
Yeah? I take it you'll go first then.
I have done absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay.
Truthfully,
Well, you
It's
were
been kinda
here
boring,
yesterday. And by
I was
here, I
here.
mean on this camera.
I was on the camera yesterday. I did a little bit of rail fanning, but I didn't see anything really that cool. Chased a CN later, KCS later. I did my trip to the KCS. I don't think I've been on since I've been on the trip, so.
Yeah, you did do quite a bit of stuff. You did some world traveling, including visiting me.
I did visit Ellis, but we did not do anything train related.
We
We
went,
went
to
to
the
the PN for
yeah.
like an hour.
We went to
That was
a
about
baseball
it.
game with Vert.
We did go to a baseball
Oh
game.
yes,
with
we
her.
did go see. We did go see, arguably one of the wildest baseball games ever, which
was a
also
funny,
turned out to
funky-ass
be.
game.
It also turned out to be Max Scherzer. I'm pretty sure Max Scherzer's last start as a New York Met.
Yeah.
He gave up 5 fucking home runs, including 2 to rookie for the first time in his career. The Red Sox basically did their best to blow the game, which included like a 3-base error, which allowed Jeff McNeil to score a Little League home run, as well as a bunch of errors. The game ended with the Red Sox beating the Mets. What was it, 8-6?
I saw a
And
clip
it
of that
should
little
have
league
ended
home
like
run. That
8-3.
was bonkers.
Yeah, which is funny because it was the second game in an impromptu doubleheader. The first game, the
first game got suspended because basically most of the
because it rained
From what I saw,
lot.
it rained, and a bunch of the the concourse areas of Fenway Park were underwater.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
they basically just said, we'll do it tomorrow, and they pushed the game, which was originally supposed to be a 4 o'clock start, back to 7. My original plan was I was going to take Amtrak from Penn Station up to Boston and then ride back on like a late train. Or actually, the original plan was going to take a bus because the night owl services were suspended because they're doing track work on the Hellgate Bridge.
See, there's a
The game
train
didn't-
news aspect to this story.
Yes, there is, and there's some more train news because, you know, other than the fact I actually work on trains for a living, much to continued. I don't know.
You work on a commuter railroad which will not be named.
Yes, commuter railroad, which will not be named.
Which will not become important later.
I did get.
Yeah, I wonder which one.
I did get some time off, and I was able to spend a little bit of Friday night and all day Saturday out at Rough and Tumble in Lancaster, which basically included me getting to operate a steam tractor,
Nerd.
as well as a regular diesel tractor and a manual grader, which is basically you spin like a bunch of wheels to basically get the blade down to basically carve out a path. I basically had my overalls from yesterday. It was at least covered with dust, I think, with the consistency of like talcum powder.
Oh, that's carcinogenic, isn't it?
Maybe. We'll figure it out at some point.
Yeah, in about
Down
30,
the
40
line.
years.
Yeah. Just die of silicosis.
Yeah.
That's basically been it for me for the most part. This is a little bit further back in like April. I did go on a 2-week vacation to Ireland and the UK. It included the Irish Rail service in Inner Era. They actually have a company that operates rail tours from Dublin to all parts of Ireland, including Northern Ireland. Me and my mother did a tour of the Ring of Kerry, which was really nice. Basically, we took the train from Dublin Houston Station to Mallow, which was their intercity service to Cork. And then we got on their commuter service, which runs between Cork and Trowley. And we took that into Killarney, and we got the bus from there to go around on the tour. I also did get to see the Bluebell Railway. I managed to get off in time to do the Bluebell Railway. And I also rode the Jacobite steam train before it got shut down.
Oh,
due
yeah.
to, the doors not being able to lock.
Woo, let's go, Jacobite.
I saw that in the news earlier today, and I went, we're probably never going to talk about that. And there it is.
Surprise!
Hold
It
on.
all
Do I still have the article? I'll put it in the thing.
I think we do.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think I had it listed under Harry Potter. Nope, it's gone. I deleted it. Oh well.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, they couldn't. That's actually a follow-on to an article that we covered about people not knowing how to latch the doors, or figuring out that they could open them while the train was moving and causing trouble. And so that got shut down because people just kept opening the doors, and the crew didn't have a way to stop everyone from opening the doors.
Yeah.
So, pro tip: don't open doors on a moving train.
Yeah. Also,
keep your
pro
hands and
tip.
feet inside the vehicle at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip: if you're taking England's rail network, make sure you buy your tickets in advance, and make sure any event that you're attending doesn't get moved, because the same thing that happened with the Red Sox Mets game happened to the soccer match that I attended between Liverpool and Arsenal. It got moved from Saturday to Sunday, and I had to rebook all my train tickets.
Is this just a thing that happens to you? Like, is this your
Basically.
curse?
This is just my life ever since I started my job.
The curse of Vertified.
The curse
Basically.
of Vertified. Well, we have a podcast title anyway. Um, has anyone else gotten up to anything entertaining? I mean, how's Cookie, Tyler?
Cookie is slowly growing. There has been a bit of a stumble in my ability to make Cookie because I'm back in Tempe. So, threw a few photos up.
At
It's
least you have
been-
streetcars.
Yeah, this is the good thing, especially since I did not realize this until we were out there and I did not see a fare machine.
Oh no.
The streetcar's free period was extended to the end of this year.
Oh, that's cool.
It should have ended in June, but it's to the end of this year, and so it's been great. I've had to show my freshman friends how to use the streetcar, and they caught on really quickly, and now I don't sound like an idiot when I talk about public transit being amazing.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
just having. Well, first of all, free transit is based. Second of all,
Yes.
you had to teach them how to use the streetcar. I feel like that's really easy when it's free. You just go, you get on the streetcar.
Yeah, well, the thing is also, like, you need to show everyone where stuff is, because the streetcar is it's weird in that it's built to be very useful for university students,
Mm-hmm.
but it goes around the outskirts of campus, so you kind of need to know where your buildings are and if it's actually going to be more time efficient to just walk than to take the streetcar. Like,
Well,
'Cause-
Phoenix has a shitty streetcar. It's kind of a piece of junk.
it's not Phoenix, it's Tempe. Shush.
Okay.
You know what?
It's not
You
the-
know what? I
the-
would take a crappy streetcar right now over no streetcar. I want a streetcar.
I want a streetcar in my town.
Yeah. It's really funny you posted that video earlier about college football stadiums. And the streetcar, I would not take it to a regular game because it puts you on the north entrance, and all the students have to use the south entrance.
That's kind of funny.
Oh,
Yeah, but besides that, took a hike as well to see the old remains of the Arizona Eastern and other stuff, which was actually just during the latest Royale.
yeah. I was about to say, is this where you were during the Royale?
Yeah,
Damn
the
it.
third shot is where I was.
Nice style.
Okay, that's not the top of it, but that's where the
uh,
tracks are.
Mhm.
And then there's Tempe Station, which is slowly getting better as it goes.
Mhm.
They're still planning on building that huge shopping mall over it, which will be nice because I think they're going to put an ice cream shop in the station, and then I can just watch the trains from there.
Oh, that is nice.
So-
All the 4 trains to take the UP Phoenix line.
Yeah, which I have still managed to not catch a single one. It's been over a year.
All those trains that are preventing the Sunset Limited from coming back to Phoenix. Sorry, the line is too busy.
Yeah,
You need to
Because
set up a
all
webcam
single-
and point it at the empty tracks.
Yeah, it's all single track, and there's only one passing siding every 500 miles.
yeah, it's. Come on, people, bring back the Sunset Limited, please.
Well, we have
Please.
I
Or
have
the
a thing.
Imperial.
I have a thing about
Yes,
Amtrak
we
long
will
distance
talk about that.
for later. I'm looking forward to talking about it. But yeah, I see the pictures that you posted, Vert. I just threw one up on the screen a minute ago. Which one of these is the? Okay. Hold
Yeah,
on.
the Jacobite train is the one with the red Mark One coach, and the it's the Black 5 that's behind the fence.
The fence. Okay.
that
yeah.
was the train at Malag. We basically took a bus tour up there, which included we stopped at the viaduct before the train went over it.
Cool.
So we actually got to see the viaduct and everything. There's actually a monument. I forget. It's for the guy who was named. The viaduct is named after. We also saw bits of we also saw the bits of the Highlands and everything. So it was a cool tour out of Edinburgh.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to get out there someday.
You're pretty cool, Ellis.
I got up to Maine though, so that's something.
I still gotta do that.
I guess I'll throw some pictures in. I don't really have a ton of great ones because I was busy chit-chatting with everybody under the sun. But to preface, yeah, I went up to the Downey Scenic in Hancock, Maine, which is also where the New England Steam Corp is located. Those are the guys restoring Maine Central 470. Awesome group of people. Made friends with them during the Big E. The public outreach director sort of invited me to make a set of trading cards for them that would be in their raffle, so that we'd get a little publicity out of it and they'd get something to put in the raffle. So I made a set of 10 Maine Central 470 trading cards, just a standard special order, with help from their chief mechanical officer, who gave me a bunch of advice on basically the style points and things like that. Super cool. Possibly the most outgoing and friendly volunteer group I have ever dealt with. Every single person was super ready to engage in lengthy conversations or whatever, and would talk our ear off, and always wanted to had things to say, wanted to tell you about this and that. Just fantastic. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a lot of really great photos, but I will throw in a couple of them. Let's see, I'll put these in, and this, and one of the fun things is they had the tender, the old tender, because they have a new one, out in the yard in front of the big tent building where they're restoring the locomotive, with just a box of chalk hanging off of it. And they were inviting everyone to just write and draw on the tender. And by the end of the day, it was totally covered with notes and doodles and fun stuff like that. I got to take the longer ride that they offer, which goes to their end of track. The track beyond that is intact, but it's not operable all the way up to Bangor.
Bangor?
Yeah.
I hardly know her.
Yeah. I think that's the first time I've driven through Bangor, Maine. Also, Vert, there is a... I thought of you when I saw these pins, and I took a picture of them. There's a Brotherhood of Railway Carmen pins from 1954 and 1951.
Oh, that is cool.
There's a fly on one of them that I didn't notice until now. And yeah, there are some cool pictures of 470 inside their big tent. I got to see a thermic siphon firsthand, because I met with the CMO, and we had an hour-long conversation where he took me around and showed me all the archives and stuff, including a Maine Central Dispatcher's Handbook, which has the tonnage rating for all the locomotives across the whole system, and things like that. We had a little bit of a lament about how bad the Maine Central Class X is, which was fun. And yeah, they just have a bunch of appliances done or whatever. They have a Stoker motor. They have the Stoker motor complete and rebuilt, and they were running it on air. But they don't intend to install the Stoker right away, because one, the CMO is like, no, I want to hand fire it, and two, the CMO is cognizant of the fact that a lot of steam locomotives are being converted to oil, and is like, we might have to convert it to oil at some point. So why put this thing in if I'm going to have to take it out and convert it to oil anyway?
Yeah.
And it's one more thing to maintain.
They're also not doing the feed water gear initially either.
Yep, they're not doing that either. It's just one of those things. I didn't realize that that 470 had a screw reverse.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. It's almost like the European style screw reverse.
Yeah, they
instead
had
of the Johnson bar.
It has a screw reverse and a power reverse, and if you can see on the photo where the guy's holding his hand, there's a lever right under it. If the reverser is in full forward, then the reversing gear will sort of hold that lever in place, and that's what allows you to run the booster.
Run the thing.
And as you pull the cutoff out, that lever will just sort of drop, and it'll turn off the booster automatically.
Oh, here comes a ballast train.
I thought that was really neat. But yeah,
That is interesting.
awesome people. If you're ever up that way in Maine, I 100% recommend checking them out. It is not some rinky-dink operation. It's actually much more than I expected. They've got like a 4-track yard, which is basically immaculate. They had speeder rides. They have 2 little shunters that run. They have a handful of coaches and an open-air car, and like 5 miles of track that they can operate on. It's pretty nice. I just need an excuse to get back up there now. Like I said, it's a 5-hour drive. I was actually going to stay overnight at a relative's house up there, and then I could wake up in Maine, as we are all wont to do. But every single person in that house caught COVID over the last couple days. And so I got a phone call like, yeah, things aren't good here. And I went, alright, I guess I'll just drive home. So I drove 5 hours up and 5 hours back on the same day.
Ouch.
Yeah. On the bright side, I was out of there by like 4 o'clock, so I got back here at 9. It wasn't too bad, but I did have to get up at 3 a.m. to get there for when they opened.
Mhm.
Anyway, has anyone else done fun stuff? I was up in Maine by the WWF TJ. What is the latest on 11?
What is the latest on 11? Well, they've been flipping out over at the WWF. Literally. They flipped the frame, so now it's right side up.
I didn't realize it was upside down.
Yeah, they've been like assembling it for a while now, and I guess now it's right side up. That's
Okay.
like Tyler can probably explain more. He posted the link.
He pays attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pays
So-
attention. Yeah, I just saw
It-
the big video of them flipping it over.
Hmm. The main reason why they were building the frame upside down was it's easier to get some of the bolsters and draft gear components inside. Because they've doing a lot of riveting, is what most of the task has been for the rear frame.
Oh yeah,
But-
that's what the CMO of the 470 people. His name is Leverett, by the way. I just keep calling him the CMO. He was like, "You need to come back up here when we're riveting. Come rivet something." So
Yeah, it's a long process, but again, their goal for this year has been to get the frame assembled. So now that they've got it, the rear section into place, they just need to get it connected with there's a bit of a transition piece, and then you have the front frames. I don't think they've gotten they haven't gotten their cylinder blocks back, but they've got sort of a jig there to keep the alignment on the front
A
end.
thingamajigger.
Yeah. And then they've got truck center castings that have been done up. Their fundraising is doing pretty well at this point. So hopefully we will see much more soon. But again, this is all kind of down to time and money. And yeah.
Yeah, I saw that they got a big bump from the memorial fund from G. Wayne Lapel.
Mhm.
I think it'd be really nice. I think I've said this before, but I think it'd be really nice if they like named 11 after him,
yeah,
Yeah.
because he was like the guy for all this.
Mhm.
yeah.
From what I've read.
What?
Shoot.
Did we mention it on the last podcast? The T1.
Oh, what, the frame?
Yeah, the fact that it's half off now.
It's half off.
50% off T1 frames.
Yeah, the
We can
T1
afford
Trust,
it
they
now.
finally got back their quotes, and it's like 470,000 instead of 900.
Well, that's an improvement.
So, yeah, they're like 48% through fundraising, according to like a month ago. So,
Oh man, that's so exciting. We're gonna have a T1 frame, which they also, I think they have their last wheels are on order.
Yeah.
Well, the last driving wheels, anyway, as far as I understand. So that means we'll have driving wheels, a frame, a boiler, a firebox. I
I
think,
think as well the cylinders, because those are partially integral to the frame.
Yeah, so-
in the
yeah.
design.
yeah, they are part of the frame. Hold on, there's a picture somewhere I just saw.
So it is mostly there. Is the thing. We also have a tender.
We do have a tender.
So
Thank you, what is that? Like the northern, or like the Buffalo area, Northwestern
Yeah.
New York Railroad Historical Society that owns the I-1. I don't know what the actual name of it is. I bet Warhawk would know. Anyway,
Lord knows all.
well that actually times us out of this section. Perfect timing. Vert, do you have something that you'd like to do for Locomotive Versus? Excuse me.
I think I do actually.
Go on.
Just kind of seeing the suggestions. I would like to do the Irish Mogul versus Everett number 11.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Hold on. Does anyone want to? Is there a volunteer to represent Everett 11? I can also do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Let's
EJ versus Vertified. Locomotive versus.
just.
Vertified versus.
We actually get one off the list, which that never happens. Also,
That's the thing. I was like, I
Usually
looked
pick
down that
something up.
list and I'm like, Irish Mogul. That
Yeah.
sounds interesting.
that was the one from the Royale that got cut short because everyone got salty. Yeah, Everett 11. Where's the stat page for that? I mean, I guess I don't. Yeah, let me grab the stat page for Everett 11 for TJ. I think it is
I was gonna
listed
say-
under Narragansett Pier.
That's what I was gonna say. It was Narragansett Pier because 38 was Huntington and Broad Top.
It's listed under Narragansett Pier, but it shares a page with Northern Pacific because NP.
that's fun.
I just died.
Oh dear.
I'm dead. Sorry.
Someone got carried away with grouping when this happened. All right, so
Yeah.
I need a photo of Everett 11. I need a photo of the Irish Mogul, which I don't remember which one it is.
I believe-
Great Southern and Western. It's one of these.
Yeah, it's either the I don't know if it's the 355 or the 368. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be the 368 because guess what its alternate title class title was?
What?
K4.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. Okay. So it's that one because it survives. Is the other sort of giveaway there.
Ah, okay.
So this is oh wait, that's a K2. I'm gonna type in Irish K4 locomotive, and I don't know what I'm gonna get out of this.
We might need to look in like the RPSI thing for it.
Yeah, I don't know where a photo of it is. It would have to be. It would have to be from when we did the Irish Royale. I don't know where that picture is. It's like in a museum, if I remember
Oh,
right.
I see it. I see it.
Oh, you see it? Okay. If you can get a picture of it, that's cool. And then let me get.
Apparently, that's weird. It has its own Wikipedia article.
Let's see if I can get a picture of. Oh, this is good. Oh wait, no, that's not it. It's not. That's from when it was on. What railroad did Everett 11 run on? That wasn't the Narragansett Pier or the.
The Champagne run, the B&H.
Oh, okay. The camera company.
Yep, B&H photo video. Yep.
Let's see if I can get a photo of it for you to use here. Yeah, here's a good photo. Here's a good little derpy thing. This is the K4.
Yeah, that's basically what the K4 is, I believe.
This
Yeah, I remember this thing.
This looks awful. This is not the locomotive I was thinking of.
It looks like absolute dog shit.
It looks so bad. I hope
It looks
it's got some stats because it's not winning style points. Which is fine because TJ doesn't usually do this, and you usually do this. So, yeah, it'll work out. With that in mind, I think I want to give the first go to the to Everett 11 here, unless there are
Okay.
objections. But O'Jolly's is muted.
Objection, Your Honor.
Just
Just proceed with.
It's like
I'm
the
gonna
scene in
have
Shrek
to
where
go
Shrek
with-
objects right before they kiss.
Minimum weight of rail.
Minimum weight of rail,
Okay.
huh? That's an interesting way
Okay.
to start against a UK locomotive. Going once. Oh wait, I don't have to do that. This is not Loco Rail. Go watch Loco Rail, everybody. Minimum
Yeah,
weight
please
of
do.
minimum weight of rail from Vert.
56.
51.
Okay, you are smaller than this
And
thing
Hamilton wrote the other 51.
by some miracle. All right, go again.
To wait on. No. Tender fuel capacity.
Tender fuel capacity 7.7 tons.
7.
Damn.
Damn.
Also, why does this say? Never mind.
don't ask. Derpy little thing. Okay, other derpier little thing. Vert.
We're gonna go with weight on drivers.
TJ?
91,500.
Damn it, 101,696.
Okay. TJ wins that, which isn't a surprise considering the minimum weight of rail. Boy, do I see something that I know TJ will lose right away.
Engine weight.
118,832.
111,000.
Okay, that's not actually that different. Effort 11 is such a weird little thing.
Tender loaded weight.
Tender loaded weight. 72,800.
God, 85,800.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I
Okay,
love how there was just a random chuckle in the background.
Jill is coming. Okay, so Vert wins
Nice
that.
to know.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Alright, we'll go with tubes.
Tubes, huh? DJ, what are your tubes? Number and diameter.
194 by 2.
293 by 1.625.
1.625.
Yeah, it's metric, isn't it?
Kind of drugs.
Yeah, it's metric.
Sure, it's metric and not like based on like oldie imperial.
I'm pretty sure it's metric because I think the UK did alternate back and forth. And this, remember, this locomotive was built in Ireland, but, much of the steam era, Ireland was under the rule of the UK.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, it's 3-3.
Let's try fluent tube length.
11.
11.62.
What's with you
Damn.
at 0.62?
Metric, probably.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
4-3.
All right. Yeah, not that. Evaporative heating surface.
1222.
1585.
Oh yeah, all those small tubes will get you.
Yeah. Combined heating surface.
Same.
Same.
Okay. We have a pair of soakers.
Yeah. Evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
172.84.
185.77.
Those are both bad.
Hey, you got me over the line. High pressure cylinders.
Where is it?
It's like in the middle.
Oh, there it is. 18 by 24.
Mine was. Let me get that stat sheet back up. 19 by 26.
What?
Sex?
Yeah.
What? How did you? This is inside cylinder. Where did you find the space?
Ellis?
What?
Ellis?
What?
Have you not realized yet?
Oh no. Oh right. God
It's
damn it.
Irish.
Oh, I totally forgot the Irish was broad gauge.
Yep. Gauge, Irish gauge, 5 feet 3 inches.
They still use that gauge?
Yep.
This is why I'm gonna make gauge a stat going forward, and smaller will always win.
We're
Standard
gonna
should
want
always win.
just bringing in all the tally cleanser engines and everything. Anyway, let's see. Let's go with the driver diameter.
50.
61.75.
God damn it. It's not fair.
I'll gamble with a little bit now. Tractive effort.
23,795.
Yeah, 20,672.
Oh wow, okay. I like to see that. TJ, find something else you can win quick.
Quick, TJ.
The pressure.
Is it both like funny looking engines for different reasons?
You're funny looking.
I know.
Let's do Robert Leo Messina's power computation.
Oh, I hope you win. I hope you win. Bert?
3968.
4392.
Yes!
Same as above. Plus
You
super
know
heat.
already.
Oh yeah, that's right. No
Yeah, we
superheater.
know already.
Someone in the comments on, I don't remember what locomotive restoration, called the locomotive in question a soaker, and I was like, it's not just us. Some people really don't like that.
Wally.
Power L1.
4395.
Damn it. 3791.
Oh. Alright, it's 10-6.
Alright.
And Matt Scherzer comes up to the mound.
God, fuck off. Number in class.
Bruh. 1.
4.
Wow.
Number built.
1.
4.
That's not even fair.
It's just the way it is.
There's just never any one-off design in the UK,
There are plenty of those.
but there's none that I don't know. Not like large engines.
Hush, hush.
Yeah, like the A11. We've
Alright,
had
let's see.
plenty of one-offs show up in Locomotive Versus from the UK.
The
Um,
LMER had a Hudson.
Let's gamble a little bit and go with firebox area.
A gamble.
113.
138.5.
38.
Yeah, why would... That's not a gamble. Everything else in that area is bigger.
It was the aspect ratio. Grade area.
Aspect ratio.
24.4.
24.8.
Bruh.
Well, that's actually fairly close. All right, we have 20 points on the board. You can go to style points if you want.
What's the score again?
It's 14 to 6.
14 to 6.
There's my
tender
effort
water capacity.
4,000.
4014.
Oh my
Really?
god!
Yes.
No way! That's a steam locomotive.
God damn
All
it.
right, we'll go to style points.
Okay. On to style. Well, let's do judge's choice first. Let's see. I just need to look at these two. What?
I feel like there's a few obvious things.
There's a couple of things that jump
Are
out at
we
me.
locked
What?
Are we locked to this photo of?
Of Everett 11? If you have a different one, you can throw it up there, and we'll just use that one instead. This is,
Because I feel like we should use one from the Narragansett Pier since that's the.
I had trouble finding a good one for the Narragansett Pier. If you know of a good one, then
I gotcha,
go right ahead. Oh yeah, there's Bath and Hammondport on the trading card right in front of me. Shoot, Tyler, do you know of one?
Well, did anybody call valve gear?
Oh no. No one called Valve Gear.
No one called it.
All right, valve gear.
Vert.
All right, it's Stevenson.
TJ.
DJ?
Mine is wall shards.
Wall shards. Okay.
Oh my god, look at that! A point for the.
I'm
11.
gonna ask. What is your driver wheelbase?
16.
And
Yeah.
Wait, yours is 10.
Yeah.
and
Look at the most recent photo. Look at the, or not the most recent, but the one right above it. Look how the drivers are spaced.
Oh yeah.
There.
I forgot it was tight.
They're it's an interesting choice. Achilles, do
We
you have a
the opposite in spacing?
thing, Achilles?
I do not.
Okay.
Might I
Not
make a
I don't have the
suggestion?
stats memorized, and I'm too lazy to pull up the pages.
Bruh.
Builder?
Oh
Has
yeah.
local base by been asked?
Loco base ID has not been asked.
Okay, then I'm gonna ask that one.
Alright. TJ is not good.
I mean,
20,698.
I'm sorry, 20,000? That is the highest.
Yeah.
mine's 11,732.
Okay. Alright, well, it's 9 to
Input delete.
15. TJ's staging a comeback, maybe. Style points.
Gas pilot.
That is a style point.
What
In
kind-
one of
what
these
kind of
Narragansett
pile?
rail in cast pilot.
Oh, I definitely can't fucking say
You
that.
don't have a pilot.
This is
Oh, I
a
have,
fucking. This is a rebuild too.
I have some. If you look in the first picture I sent, it also has these weird polling pockets too.
Yeah.
You can do the thing.
You do have polling pockets, which I was looking at the polling pockets on 470's tender. I don't know why. It was just like, yeah, since my fascination with how bad polling is, I haven't really looked at polling pockets that much.
Yeah. When did Everett Railroad get withdrawn from service with the Narragansett?
Or
Let me see.
well, it last was in revenue service on the Bath and Hammondport, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Okay.
whenever it got
so-
withdrawn from that, but it's still probably before the Irish thing was. When is the Irish thing withdrawn?
It was withdrawn in 1957.
It's not that late.
Narragansett Pier sold it to the B&H in 37.
37.
It was
Do-
retired in 1949
Oh.
and then sold 1955 to Dr. Stanley Groman.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you should do ASMR.
All right. All right. So that point goes to
Disrespectfully.
Bert. Do we have another point?
Well, Would this would be a bit of a fucking stretch, but would serving in 2 different countries by technicality count?
Is it by technicality because they became
Northern
their own
and Southern
country?
Ireland.
Yeah.
Um,
The locomotive was built in 1909. It was technically Ireland was still part of the UK, and by then it was withdrawn. It was then the Republic of Ireland.
I'm gonna say no because you didn't go anywhere. The country changed around you. That doesn't count.
Do I get a style point for being built for Cuba?
No, although it is neat.
You're neat, TJ.
Oh, I have 2 dynamos. Does that count?
You do.
Yes.
I mean, in fact,
know what
having
this means.
having a dynamo would be a point
Can I
because
borrow one?
Oh, I have a belt then too.
yes,
Yes.
you happen to
And a
have some
headlight.
important facets that
Yeah, you tend to
Irish
have a lot of.
locomotives don't.
Also, I have like a curtain on the cab. Does that count?
Yes.
I got buffers.
Also, the giant cab windows too.
You get the buffers. You get. Yeah, you do have a lot more windows. That's something that we have never, like, brought up before. But looking at the comparison between these two, I feel like having more windows is definitely a style point for Everett 11. Because,
Well, the fact is, well, that the 11 has the cab roof extending back over the space for the firemen versus
Oh, yeah.
the Irish thing, where it's just like, if the rain is being blown in the wrong direction, you are just getting absolutely pelted.
yeah, the fireman in the Irish locomotive is like, yeah, suck it up. Get rained on.
Frank. Oh well.
Do I get a point for the steps on the side of the boiler?
I've
Uh,
given that before. I would just say your running boards in general are better than the Irish one.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about stepping over wheel hubs.
Well, the
Oh,
thing
uh,
is,
Mine's also
as well,
operational.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't even confirmed this thing actually made it into preservation. To be
No, I was
honest.
thinking of a different locomotive. I don't think this thing survives.
Yeah, this thing definitely did not survive.
It's okay. We have better K4s in existence.
And honestly, there are probably better Irish locomotives than this to use.
There are better Irish moguls in existence.
Damn.
Yeah.
what's the
That's
score? right?
real.
The score is 18 to
Terrible.
17.
TJ's made the comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a model of Everett 11?
Uh,
Oh, there's one in trains, I guess. No, that's not really a model. I guess. I don't know.
Well, a digital model is a style point. That's different.
Yeah, that
but
is a
it's like
style
the
point.
generic.
It is a
It is
normal
not
mogul
Benny
that's
Hill.
called Everett 11.
It's like the Ben Neal mogul.
Oh yeah, I don't want to count that.
I don't either.
Nah, that can't count.
I don't either. It has white walls in its builder's photo.
Yeah, but the honestly, the Irish thing is probably like green or something.
True.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's
It also
I
has
think
the
it's
Irish thing has a big
not
circle
black.
on the tender, and I don't understand why.
I don't understand why either. I don't know if that was where I guess maybe the logo for the GS and for the Great Southern and Western Railway was, and if this photo.
I would say shoot here for
I-
ammo rack, but I've just been playing too much War Thunder, I
Yeah,
guess.
I don't even know when this photo was taken, and I also can't remember when exactly everything was folded into Adair on Erin or Irish Railways.
Wait a minute,
So
I figured it out. It's a big
How did you
circle
figure?
because it's locomotive 360.
Bruh.
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 It teaches children shapes.
Oh, my my leading truck is cast too. I don't know if that's a point or not.
no, not really.
Yeah. But you are in the lead. I'm taking any other important style points.
Does this thing have power reverse?
I wouldn't think so.
Do not. No.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I definitely don't.
No, I can see your reversing lever.
Yeah, the one sticking out of the bottom.
Mm-hmm. This is a nice photo. Everett 11. We need to go see Everett 11 run.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might be. I might honestly try to see if that thing's running the same weekend I'm out in Pittsburgh for a wedding.
Mm. Hey, is this picture of it in the Narragansett Pier engine house?
I think so. It might be.
Is that one still around that building?
Yep. I think
Yeah.
that's the piecemeal like MOW place now.
Okay, yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna go see if I can find a picture of that. Well, that wraps it up then. We have it settled,
Linked it out.
which is that the Irish mogul, by virtue of being effing broad gauge, mops the floor with Everett 11 in style points. But if you were gonna drive one of the two, you'd probably want to be behind the back end of Everett 11. So Everett 11 wins by the points, which is 18-17. And I'm definitely going to vote for Everett 11 because, as previously stated, the Irish K4 looks like garbage.
Give
Damn.
me the little boy. It's cute.
Give me the American locomotive.
Yeah, okay. No pity points
Oh, no,
today.
Nope.
I think
I don't have pity for foreigners.
Okay,
I'm actually really
picture
racist.
That's
of-
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
Alright.
How did I know that was coming?
I didn't think about my sentence until it was out, and then I just
You
kinda ran with it.
definitely did not. Fuck's sake.
I'm giving Angelis a point for that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I'm gonna step past that for a sec. The picture of the engine in the engine house is number 20. They're American.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which
Okay.
also looks like it has a motorcycle headlight.
God damn. Wait, is there a photo of 20 somewhere? Oh my god. Oh, that's the other thing that they had at the Downey Scenic. They had the dynamo and the rear headlight hooked up, and you could run them. They were running it on air. If you asked them to turn it
Run
on,
the
they would.
thing.
They had a whistle that you could blow off of 470. They had 470's bell that you could ring. I was distracted and didn't do either of those things, which is a shame, because I would have liked to blow the whistle, because I am a big foamer. But,
You are N1 FOR and FOAMER.
yes. But anyway, we have a spot on the docket here for Locomotive Versus. If you have a suggestion for Locomotive Versus, you could put it in the comments, and I'll write it down, unless somebody beats you to it. So, let's talk about the news, then. And we seem to be making good time. Vert, you said you had to get out of here at, like, 4 o'clock?
Right around 3:15.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's closer then. So, do you want to talk about your thing first? Definitely not
Sure.
related to
Well, yeah.
your
So,
job.
recently, the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers has began to conduct a vote on strike authorization against New Jersey Transit. The national president of the BLE has called for a strike authorization vote, mainly citing how New Jersey Transit has spent $440 million in new luxury office spaces
Bruh.
and has not got. Well, engineers have yet to have gotten a contract for the last, I think, around 3 years. There's still a lot of things ongoing. The general chairman, James Brown, has told the board members assembled about the plans he said on the meeting, talking about the offices mainly in Newark. And so the BLE is now voting on strike authorization. The general feeling from some people is that this actually will get passed. What exactly happens after that is a good question,
Yeah,
because it could lead to the entirety of New Jersey Transit's rail system, which includes the Metro North's line to Port Jervis, being completely shut down.
I'm sure that'll go well. Honestly, though, that's they haven't had a. You said the engineers haven't had a contract for 3 years.
Just about, yeah. They haven't had a contract for a while.
So, what? Like, how have they been working? I don't understand
Basically,
how this works.
Basically, how it goes is that while negotiations are ongoing, um, you basically work under some of the parameters of the old contract that you work under, mainly in terms of like pay, stuff like in terms of like number of sick days, vacation days, etc. Basically, until a new deal is reached. That's something that a lot of railroads have gone under. It's the same thing for it's not just a New Jersey Transit thing. It's for any other large railroad that has interaction with the the Railroad Relations Board, and the board will also for any gripes or anything between the carrier and the union, it will be put in front of the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, and they'll basically vote on whether the deal should be renegotiated, whether they side with the company or if they side with the union. Basically, I'm not 100% sure the standing, and to be honest, I'm not at liberty to even say anything like that because it's not my craft. I am a conductor by craft, so yeah. So we could very well see before the end of the year a strike with NJ Transit.
So
Also, yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask then, because it just this occurs to me, wouldn't it follow that the company is sort of incentivized to draw out negotiations as long as possible? Because
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Okay,
are.
that makes sense. Anyway, you were saying.
Another topic that has came up, and I'm going to claim this right here, would be the J&L Railroad, which is part of the Youngstown Steam Heritage Museum, has unfortunately been ordered by the state of Ohio to shut down because they are under the jurisdiction of the Department of Agriculture because they are not, in fact, a railroad. They have, because of certain things in terms of classification, they fall under the state jurisdiction, and therefore it defaults back to usually the governing body of whoever basically inspects carnival rides, which is the Ohio Department of Agriculture.
Basically, they received a complaint. Like, I don't know what the nature of the complaint was, but presumably that the safety sort of features usually present with amusement rides were not present with this because it is a train. And so they got shut down because the state classifies them as an amusement ride instead of a train. Because
Exactly.
they're a completely insular thing and they don't fall under the FRA, I guess.
Basically, that's what it is. They don't have any public crossings, and they don't go outside like any public infrastructure or any area accessible to like the general public. If it's an insular system and they can control access to it, therefore it would be a state regulation.
I'm seeing parallels with something else.
Go on.
No, it's Achilles' thing.
Oh. Yeah, we will...
Regulation, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Joe Biden's America right here.
Yeah, thanks a
This is
lot.
literally.
But
I love my interurban.
no, but like it's I want to clarify for everybody that they're not ceasing operations entirely, like they're still doing hand on the throttle and stuff, and they still have their members only run days. It's just they can't do public run days anymore. Like they can't do just regular sort of excursion trips, I guess you might call them. Which is unfortunate. I mean, it doesn't mean the end of the world for them, but it's still going to be problematic. Hopefully they'll be able to, like, get a lawyer I hope they can get a lawyer and fight this to prove that they are a railroad.
It's either going to be that, or they're going to have to put in some safety precautions, basically, to satisfy the state of Ohio.
Yeah, but that would mean all sorts of fencing up around their track, basically. So you wouldn't be able to walk around the place anymore, which is lame because walking around it is really cool. They have a bunch of cool stuff. Anyway, I wish them the best. I'm glad I got to go over there, and while I didn't see them run, stop replacing your topic with other things.
Sorry.
Satisfied.
Where Vert's on discussion topic number 3 for himself. I'm glad I got over there, even though I didn't get to see it run. And I hope they can run again soon. They may have to do like a loophole where everyone that buys a ticket is technically a member. Or something. Anyway.
One-day memberships.
Oh, this is what you were talking about, Tyler. God damn it. I forgot about this. I forgot about the Texas Central thing and it being an interurban by definition of the state.
Yes, I love my interurban.
Oh, God. Okay, Verd, do you want to talk about 4101 really quick?
Sure, yeah. It's just a short topic. NJ Transit's number 4101, which is painted in the New Jersey Department of Transportation Bluebird scheme, will be at the United Railroad Historical Society's museum for a day. That is scheduled, I believe, for sometime in September.
The 24th.
Also, on top of that, they will also have the ALF 44 that was also donated by NJ Transit at the available for tours at the museum. They recently actually had a group manage to get some of the electricals reactivated on the ALF 44, which is actually kind of neat. And on top of that, the ORHS is selling tickets right now for a donation for the reveal of the U34CH that's also being repainted in the in-service scheme it had with New Jersey Transit, and just before that, the Erie Lackawanna under the Conrail under contract with the NJ Dot.
Well, that's neat. Museum for a day. I'd like to see more pop-up museums where locomotives just show up. That way they run more things on the main line to get them there. Speaking of taking things on the main line, where are the electrics right now? The Danbury ones.
Danbury Electrics are currently, they're still kind of sitting there.
Oh, damn.
Menacingly. But the site has been prepped. They're getting ready to finally get them out of there. So see if compacted stone has been put down, which is going to allow for them to put in the crane and heavy trucks once it gets to that point. They've also, the access road is finally done, and they're just kind of getting contracts finalized. Fundraising is also going very well for them. They got a $10,000 grant from the Don and Judy Spyro Fund, as well as the New York Central Historical Society did a matching campaign.
That's cool.
So, yeah, they're almost free. They're almost home free, and then we can start, tearing them apart and putting it back together. And
let's not use the word tearing. Let's say they will be taken apart, disassembled, and then reassembled. Not, I sawed this boat in half.
I feel like either way there are going to be some parts that just kind of tear off because they've been sitting for a long while. They need a lot of TLC.
They're going to be leaving parts.
I need TLC too.
They're going to be leaving parts behind on the highway.
Your favorite channel on TV.
It's going to be,
again, these are really, really historically important pieces. Again, it's the only surviving,
T-motor?
S-motor.
It's the OGS motor and the only surviving T-motor, I believe.
More
Yeah.
like P
Mhm.
motor.
Which again, the
Brr.
AS motor, that's the first like mass-produced inner city mainline electric. So it leads to the Zappy boys that we
Yes.
know and love today.
Electric's good. Put up the
Yes,
dang wires.
please.
Speaking of putting up
Right,
the dang
O'Chillies?
wires,
Yeah.
Yeah.
indeed.
Let's talk about our
Well,
favorite
I'll preface
interurban.
I'll preface this by saying this isn't an article, but it is newsworthy, I think. Caltrain has actually been testing their Stadler-built electrics lately.
They
So they've
suck.
been testing them on... They do not suck.
No, I'm kidding.
They're built in Salt Lake City. So
Which ones are
watch
these? Are these the orgasm or the kiss, or which ones are these?
They're the makeout, yeah.
the
Yeah.
kiss.
They're the boner.
They're the kisses. I think they might be the flirt. Are they the flirt or the kiss?
These
they're
things are
flirt.
so stupid.
Stadler hiring the horniest bastards to name their trains.
They should
No,
team up
they're
with
the kissy amused.
The
they
They're
should team up with the
smooch.
BART. They should team up with the BART people so they can get cat girl train names.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Is it the flirt or the kiss? I can't remember.
these are the kiss
It's
ones.
the kiss. It's
The
the, kiss.
smooch.
Yeah. It's the Stadler orgasms.
I'm not sure if they need to give that person more money or fire them for this nomenclature.
Well, no, that's their whole theme. That's their theme. If you look up Stadler products, you have their C. There are the Smile, which is their high-speed train. The
we
Flirt
need to
200
check
and the
their
Kiss
water
200.
supply.
The Flirt 160 and the Kiss. The
Flirt
Win,
maxing.
the GTW. The Tina, the Tango, the Tramlink, the Variobon, the Metalista.
How do they expect anyone to take them seriously? I just need to ask
Everything-
that question. How do they
and
expect
then-
people to read through their website and go, "Yeah, that's what I want for my railroad"?
Should we get the kiss or the Metalorobon?
So that's cool.
I can't wait to ride the fellatio.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
Caltrain has received a grant to make their other line, the San Francisco, San Jose to Gilroy, the Gilroy line, which is not electrified. It's not getting electrified. State of California gave them a grant to operate battery electrics on the line, with the idea being that when they're running under the electrics, they're electric, and then when they go out off the non-electrified line, they turn to battery mode. And
That's cool. When the title of the thing said battery, I was like, oh god.
so they're kind of more of a hybrid, and California
Big
really doesn't
use
like
of
diesel
battery.
locomotives.
Yeah, I am. Unfortunately, I don't see some of the ways battery power trains have worked have not been good.
Yeah,
No.
battery
See-
locomotives kind of are doo-doo.
Yeah.
You could see the Norfolk Southern's experiment with 999, which was a partnership with Penn State. That locomotive never left Juniata under any circumstances. So, and how far is the end of electrified territory to from the end of electrified territory to Gilroy?
So it's electrified between, I think it's electrified in San Francisco, I want to say, and then I think I gotta hold
Aren't
on.
they,
I gotta figure this out.
I think they're electrifying a whole bunch to work with the California high-speed rail stuff, right?
Yeah, that's why they're electrifying it, so that it's for because of California.
There's
Hopefully
another.
it's the same electrical system.
I don't think they've electrified. It's gonna be. They don't think they've electrified
Good.
San Francisco yet. I don't think that's up, but they have electrified down in San Jose. And the line to Gilroy is a separate line. Yeah, there's electrification in San Jose. And the line to Gilroy, I don't know where that branches off. Hold on, give me a second. Find it. In other
Yeah,
news,
because
Actually,
oh, go ahead.
I did want to talk about, because if we're talking about battery electric locomotives, I just wanted to throw a thought out there, which is the use cases. We're talking about this, that there's sections of track that they call unsuitable for electrification, which I don't know what makes them unsuitable. And using batteries just to get them that last chunk of distance.
Yeah, it's the last. There's no junction. It's just a little bit of an extra stretch to Gilroy.
Yeah.
It's like they go there every once in a while, like a few times a day.
And like it kind of makes sense. I see it. I think in the future, if they ever increase service, they're probably going to want to put up the dang wires and whatever. But does this do we feel like a shunter in like a yard is a good use case for a battery electric locomotive? Because
it's been tried.
yeah, I mean, there's another company that's putting together one. It's shoot, what is it called? It's like Canadio or something. Cando.
Indeed.
Yeah, and they want to make a battery electric locomotive. It looks like it would be, a battery powered switching locomotive, they say, by refitting an older locomotive with a lithium ion system. First of all, that's going to make a really nice fireball someday. But second of all, it seems
Refit a Jeep, please.
it doesn't seem like a bad idea to me, because like electrification is a proven technology, but electrifying a yard sounds really annoying. Like I can't imagine trying to electrify Selkirk or something,
Yeah.
And if we're gonna
But like,
put up the dang wires for everything, it's so much extra work for relatively little reward, I guess.
I do think
Well-
something that's I've just noticed it's kind of funny is UP runs coal trains and will be running coal trains under the Caltrain wires, which is kind of funny. In like a cynical, like that's
Ironic.
Wait,
Yeah.
so are they going to have to build the wires high enough for double stacks, or
no. There's
You
no
can't do
double
that.
stacks
That's
on that one.
impossible.
that's what I was going to say? They're going to
Yeah,
have to
don't
invest
look at
in new
India. Don't look
technology.
at India. India does not count.
Don't look at India or anywhere in China. They don't count.
What were you gonna say, Tyler?
I was gonna say, like, if you're already electrifying the whole territory, then you may as well just electrify the yards, because you're gonna have to send your engines in there anyways.
Well, if
So-
you have, it depends how your yard is set up, right? You're gonna have
Yeah.
to have your send your mainline locomotives through the like arrival and departure tracks. But
Mhm.
if you have like a hump yard where you're gonna be putting cuts together and then taking those cuts out and then putting them on departure tracks, assembling them over there, and then the main trains leave from there. I don't know. I feel like there could be use
Like-
cases. It's not
Well, that's
perfect.
what we got to
I'm-
do. We just gotta use hump
Third,
yards again.
third rail
Automated
yard.
hump yards again.
Third
Well, what you
rail,
could do-
Third rail the yard.
No.
Is you could just like make it like a roller coaster where there's like a little hook on the bottom that like the car is hooked to and go up the hump.
Well,
I don't know.
the approach to
a bit like
the approach to a hump would be a single track. Like that I feel like is easy to electrify. It's just the bowl area would be a pain.
You might not have to electrify the. Well, you might not have to electrify like the bowl.
Well, you still have to send engines in there to pull the cuts of cars out. And I'm saying if you didn't electrify them, then the locomotive you send in there is going to be a battery engine. It would that's the one use case that makes sense for me. Anyway, Tyler, what were you saying?
I'm just gonna like, well, Japan.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's
Like-
impossible. I'm saying it's annoying.
It's annoying, yes, but it's a one-time deal, and then you're just gonna have to deal with the maintenance, and that's not too bad.
These are the American railroads we're talking about here. So
Yeah, we got to defer the
Yeah.
maintenance as long as possible.
Also, I mean, I respect Japanese railways, but they're not renowned for their incredibly complex freight network, which is a little bit of a different animal.
They're
Well-
also not. They also were up until about 2008. Were not well known for their workplace culture being good.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think
But at the
workplace
same
culture is
time-
the thing preventing Union Pacific from electrifying Sherman Hill. I just want to just say it.
yeah.
Go ahead, Tyler.
They still
sorry.
have to have large yards for storing commuter equipment and everything else.
They do, but for
Here's
the
a
most
shot
part,
of
everything's always going to
Yamanote
have
line.
a locomotive on it.
This one has a. This one looks like a video game.
What does?
The
Oh,
one
hold
with
on,
all like the
picture.
subway cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Yamanote line.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that makes sense because those are your, like, that's motive power, you know? That's all motive
Mhm.
power. Those guys are going to just pick up and drive out of there at some point. But if this was like a bunch of boxcars, I don't feel like you need to wire up the whole thing. Just have like your one token battery shunter that you send in there. Or heaven forbid, you keep on something that's that consumes something. Ooh, even better. You get a fireless loco,
Oh god.
and you have you have your boiler for
Oh, wait, I know.
like,
I know.
heating the shop complex or whatever, and you just use that. You use the steam
No,
from
no, no,
that.
Ellis, you're not thinking right. You're not thinking right.
You're about to post the
What would
Swiss thing.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I knew that was coming. Yeah, I mean, that also works.
It works.
Anyway. Alright, well, yeah, battery stuff. But Agilis, you have a bunch of other stuff. I know I got us
I do.
sidetracked on this.
I do. Amtrak. Well, I should specify U.S. Railroad Amtrak, according to this Reuters article, in case you got confused with your German Railroad Amtrak, is exploring the possibility of high-speed rail in Texas. So, if you
Chaos.
guys remember the Texas Central, from
My favorite interurban.
several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, Texas Central kind of has run out of money, and there's
What?
not really much
No way.
left because turns out that the people of Texas don't want the goddamn commie high-speed rail.
I think
And-
they do. They just the
There's a vocal minority.
yeah.
Um,
They're gonna
So-
put the dang aliens on the train and send them through Texas to do crime.
like recently, I think their CEO stepped down. And so, unfortunately, they kind of hit a roadblock. So, Amtrak has stepped in and has offered to potentially partner with Texas High Speed Rail, Texas Central, to make it happen. Construction, I think, was supposed to start like this year, but
Rip.
that's not going to happen.
Make it happen.
And
Yep.
I mean,
Get
all
that
these
money
articles
flowing.
kind of just say the same thing. Amtrak is working to explore opportunities with Texas Central in order to bring high-speed rail to Texas, which makes a lot of sense. Although the problem, I think, with Texas Central, in my opinion, is that the stations for the railroad would be like way out in the sticks of the city, so nobody would. I guess you would have to take it to. I guess you could just take it, but I don't know. Just a
Huh?
thought. There's
Wait.
no mass transit in
We
Texas.
are really out in the sticks from what I saw of the proposed route.
Like the
Yeah.
station stops way out there. It's not in the city. It's out in the sticks.
In fairness, if
Let me see here. The line.
We need to
it kinda
think-
defeats
we
the
need to
point.
think
If
what
you're
will-
not running high speed rail into the city, it defeats the point of the high speed rail.
No,
I don't
no,
necessarily
Achilles.
agree.
The station in Dallas is in like the Cedars area. It's in like middle downtown. It's right by the river. It's right by the
Maybe
30,
it's Houston I'm
35
thinking of.
stack. And then where the heck is the Houston stop? Yeah, I'll give you that. That's farther out. That's over by the 610.
I mean, it's not too bad. And
Yeah.
even if these stations were on the outskirts of the cities, I feel like it would still be somewhat justified insofar as, I mean, distance between Houston and Dallas is like over 200 miles, right? And if
Yes.
you're going to do that on a bullet train,
Mhm.
you could save a whole hour or more over driving. I feel like that'd be worth it to some people, to a lot of people even. If you set it up like if you set it up like an airport with like rental car facility or whatever, and I know that sounds dumb, but I have my doubts that flights from Houston to Dallas are unpopular. And if you can just do that on a train instead, avoid the TSA, it's still going to be, that's going to be, you know, whatchamacallit. People are going to like it. That
Fair.
said, yeah, it would be better if they were downtown.
I'm just gonna.
but I was supposed to jump on this thing about Amtrak expansion or whatever, but you did Texas High Speed before your other things. Because
I did want to talk about Texas High Speed and then just high speed stuff today. So
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty fast.
well, let's come
So-
back around to that because now Amtrak is involved in this project, right?
Right.
I don't know
right.
how they got involved. I don't understand
They've
how that.
applied for grants and just trying to work with them to make it happen.
Hmm.
Oh, excuse me.
And Amtrak has been applying for these grants and things. Amtrak is looking at sort of making connections, and the FRA put out this long distance study, which is a little bit of light reading. It's about 120 slides. And it is a fascinating look through about the strategies for determining new long distance routes. Has anyone else looked through this? Because I spent like a good hour on it.
I spent a good like 45 minutes for it.
I have
It
not.
was
Yeah. It's neat. I figured East would like it because the example corridor they pick is the Floridian.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they do this. Everyone knows the map TM. This is the much better map of interconnectivity, etc. And I'm gonna put this up on the screen. The conceptual enhanced network, which if you guys want to pull it open and go to slide 80, I feel like we could spend some time talking about this, and this is what I wanted to talk about. I'll give you guys a minute to like take it in while I cover a couple of smaller articles, like this nice tweet, X post, whatever, about a guy who has traveled the entirety of Amtrak's network. And I would like to see it. I would like to see it be harder to do that. I want more trains. And Amtrak. We have two articles. Oh no, this is just the one article about a section of the Crescent they want to peel off in Meridian, Mississippi, and run pretty much due west through Jackson, through Marshall, Texas, and into Fort Worth. So you'd have this extension of the Crescent, or a section, or whatever you want to call it, that does that. Now, I think this is very cool. However, I also think it is very dumb, because we need to stop having trains that split and get put together, because it screws things up constantly.
Yeah.
We need to find a different way to do this.
Make more trains.
Yeah, I
Simple
mean,
as
just
that.
make more trains in general. If they have, they should just make this its own train and double up the frequency on the Crescent north of Meridian. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. Well, the freight trailers
Or just
probably
run,
keep it.
or just even run separate service.
Yeah.
You can plausibly count. You can plausibly argue you can have a overnight train run from, say, Atlanta, which I know Amtrak has wanted on their big plan to basically build a major hub out of Atlanta and
Yeah.
run it to places like Birmingham, New Orleans. You could even argue you could run it to Fort Worth, Houston as well, besides going to like Nashville via Chattanooga and other places like that.
Well, we actually have that on this map to an extent, or at least that's what is being thought about here. We have Atlanta with connections to Savannah, connections indirectly to Jacksonville, connections to Montgomery, Chattanooga, and Nashville, and the Southeast deserves more rail than it has right now. It's not that sparsely populated. It's relatively densely populated, or at least the cities are pretty big. It should have. I was about to say at least as much as like the Northeast, but I don't mean New England. it should have more corridors and things.
It definitely should. It definitely should. There should be no way other than by car. There should be alternate um, spots, alternate ways of getting from Atlanta to the Georgia coast. The Georgia coast is one of the biggest tourist draws in the state of Georgia. Savannah in particular, you can argue like the Brunswick area near St. Simon's Island as well. You can there's plenty of people that go in between Nashville and Atlanta. Nashville's has been one of the fastest growing cities in the United States for a number of years. It's even bigger than Memphis now. And you can also argue it would alleviate traffic on I-85 going between Atlanta and Charlotte if you upped and had more trains running between those spots a day.
Yeah, no, honestly, corridor service between Atlanta and the coast would be smart, just as like a state-supported corridor. But if you want to take this to its sort of logical extreme, I could see something that does either El Paso or Albuquerque via Fort Worth and then Meridian into Atlanta and then Savannah maybe. The big thing on this map is that these green lines are segments, which is sort of city pairs or origins destinations that the FRA has identified during its analysis.
I think like a Chicago to Miami train would work.
That was a
Like
thing.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Chicago, Nashville, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Miami.
That was a thing.
if you go down to it's one of these slides way down here.
Sure,
it's
it
like
was. I mean, there
108.
was a train everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go down to 108, thank you, Tyler. That's the corridor that they identify as like the example potential new long distance route development Chicago to Miami. I think it's so obvious, It is probably maybe not the most obvious long distance route that we could pull out, but it is an incredibly obvious long distance route. And yeah, that's an easy one, and it gets you that Atlanta to the coast. It gets you another route through Tennessee. It gets you a connection from Florida to the rest of the Amtrak network that doesn't involve going via Washington D.C., which is ridiculous. I know the Sunset Limited should come back as well, but
Yeah, I
Go
find
back
it
to
really
daily.
funny if you look at Arizona here, the triangle, Yuma, Phoenix, Tucson, and then Flagstaff.
yeah,
The thing that
Flagstaff.
actually
I mean, unfortunately, because of the rim, I don't really think rail to north-south through Flagstaff can ever really make sense. Like,
the
it's
thing that
always...
surprised me is on that point though, Gillies. Earlier in this study, there is a show of traffic flow.
you guys
in-
vamp for a second because I need to fix something. The TV in the other room's
All right.
broken, so continue talking about this. I'll be back in a few.
So it shows traffic capacities and
Let's figure out
the
the podcast
biggest
and what else is gone. Sorry.
thing.
Maybe we should remove him from the call.
No, Phoenix to Prescott was like the most actual traffic flow out of Phoenix, which would be on the P-Vine going to Flag, which makes me think
Although
if
P-Vine
their
doesn't run
numbers
through
are
Prescott. Runs Prescott.
It-
runs outside of Prescott. It
yeah,
used to run through
it's
Prescott, but not-
it's close enough that you could get a reasonable step there if you wanted to do like a little, I don't know, the spur line almost like the Phoenix Main is. But
One thing I'm seeing in this is they say like in the economic and social well-being of rural areas goal.
yeah, that's the reason why Wyoming, the South Dakota line, stuff like that. It's
Yeah. One of the metrics that they use is how many more national parks that will have access to passenger rail. I think that's a little funny. So apparently right now 62 national parks, recreation areas, and preserves
Mhm.
have access with passenger rail, and they're going to add 11 more.
Actually, if you're right there, can you pull up the numbers for how many new people will have access to passenger rail under the entire plan?
Yeah, like rural or
Just
in
any of the
general?
numbers.
Um, this is all like rural areas in the section I'm in. Hold on.
Yeah.
Apparently, 340,000 more tribal people living on tribal lands
Hmm.
will have access to rail. That's pretty cool. 5 million more people in rural areas, at least. So,
That's neat.
yeah, it says objective enhance access for historically disadvantaged populations, scope rural population in areas of persistent poverty. Baseline network is 8 million. Enhanced network hopes to be 8 million plus the 5 million. 61% increase. Why do they break it up like this? Oh my God.
The other thing as well I'd like to note with the enhanced network is if you look west of Chicago, there are so many more lines that are going north-south. Amtrak's current network is almost entirely, it sits around Chicago in the northeast, and then you just have these long transcons that
Oh,
get
here
you
we
to
go.
California and the coast.
Here we go. Sorry, 9 million more people.
Yeah, that's.
This is the U.S. population outside urbanized areas.
Mm-hmm. And then urbanized, I think it was like 14 million or something. I don't know.
40 total U.S. population 43 million
Yes.
more people. They have it broken into like 5 million different categories that you have to scroll through because it's a study. Oh my God, what do they have to be
Yeah,
thorough or
because
something?
government study says let's hit all of these different goals and then not do a really overview that much. But yeah, I just think, especially on the west side, like the connections running stuff down through like Cheyenne, Denver to basically just bringing back the Texas effort. It makes a lot of sense. Bringing back things that are, a Barstow to Salt Lake City. That's going to be a lot convenient for a lot of people because you try to take a train from Salt Lake City to LA or Vegas right now. It's like, well, you can't do it to Vegas, and you do it to LA, you have to get through Sacramento. That's ooh.
That's why we got to get the Impossible Railroad going again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of the other bits.
Bruh,
It's like,
I'll be right back.
I think this hits all 48 contiguous states, is what one of the goals was. So you've got Wyoming, you've got South Dakota, more stops in Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, etc. It's just nice. It's a very holistic approach. Again,
Yeah, it
building
is.
more hubs outside of Chicago and DC.
In New York.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
is
if they can
a
make
big thing.
like, if they can make hubs in like places like Atlanta and probably even like, I'd say even St. Louis could be a hub. You would
St.
have
Louis.
a big. It would definitely improve the argument for um, increasing rail service and being able
Mhm.
to utilize, certain corridors that the class ones don't want because, they're all about profit margins and,
Yeah.
slimming
Fort
down
Worth as well.
property taxes.
LA could be a good one up there, or Barstow or whatever they end
Yeah.
up going with.
I'd say LA since it has station capacity.
Yeah,
What are we talking
because
about?
it's a whole new like hubs instead of Chicago, New York, and DC.
Right.
Because that's the thing with
Alright.
this network is like you can see Atlanta has so many connections. Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
there's
You know what they
stuff
need for connections, and you know what they could use for a hub, or I should say. Has anyone said Denver yet?
I thought about Denver, but if you look at it, it's only you've got the north, south, and east and west. line.
Yeah,
and
but that's
nothing else.
but that's fine. You terminate the train to Portland, the train to Los Angeles, both of those via Salt Lake City and possibly Cheyenne, a train via Idaho, and a train to Houston. From there, you terminate those all in Denver. I feel like that would work really well.
Yeah, probably. I would tend to concur with that.
How much time does everybody have left? Because I gotta get going soon.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, we already did your bit. Just give if you've got to run off, just write a guess for the Class 1 mantle and then fill in something for your termination. Oh, you already wrote. You're way ahead of me here. But yeah, just let us know if you have to take off. I think we'll be here another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going.
All right. Have a good day, Vert, at that
Thanks for
at that
having me,
railroad,
guys.
that unidentified railroad that you work at.
Bye, Vertified.
Anyway, we could also see an extension of the Heartland Flyer to Oklahoma City, which is what's being discussed right now.
Yeah.
That was another article that I had, and that's actually where I saw this map originally, and I went, where does that come from? And that sent me down the finding this PowerPoint rabbit hole. Anyway, yeah, so that's my shtick. I want to hear people in the comments talking about this map and what connections should happen. Because that would be, it's cool. I like this conceptualizing, and I hope we see some of these ideas come to fruition in the not-so-distant future. If Amtrak can get some more equipment.
Yeah, that was one thing I was thinking about. Like, I love all these plans to expand their network, but like we need like a modernization plan or something too to go along with it.
they talk. It's a lot of talk about expanding, but like they need new equipment and they need a whole bunch of new shit before they can even think about expanding.
I'd love to see like electrification plans at some point too, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, honestly, I just want more trains. And
40s.
there's even an article, or like, I hesitate to call it an article. It's like an paragraph on this other thing that says pretty much the same thing. It's like, hey, Amtrak is going to have to decide between covering everywhere and making service better. And I mean, I think that's a little bit of a false dichotomy. I feel like they could do both given the right budget and the right people. But yeah, no. Before they add any new routes, they need to figure out their equipment shortage and things like that. And I know that they're putting in sort of bids for things, replacements of the superliners and yada yada. There are instances where I heard somebody talking about like the superliner replacements being train sets, which seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah, I think they're proposing like semi-permanent train sets.
That just seems dumb. I mean, I know that's the way of the future, and it sounds sleek and whatever, but the fact that you can just knock like one or two cars off of a long-distance train that doesn't need the capacity today, or add one or two cars, for something that's overcrowded, it makes way more sense to me to stick with this sort of older paradigm.
You can do that with a train. Like they take cars on and off the Acela sometimes.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. It strikes me as a much more involved process for a perma-coupled train set at the end of the day.
Also, they definitely have to do that in Europe, right? Like, I feel like that's a thing.
I mean, in Europe, there's plenty of trains that are still just regular coaches and not train sets. Like the major flashy stuff is, but some of the stuff that looks like it would be train sets is just coaches that go very well together, and locomotives that go very well together. I think of the 125s. It's like those go on the head of trains that aren't perma-coupled, as far as I understand.
They're Mark III coaches.
Yeah, so they're just regular old cars. Again, yeah.
Friend of mine.
Yeah. Amtrak, you need to buy stuff, but please buy things that make sense. that will actually be useful instead of just look cool. I know they have to say the right things to make people want to support them, but man, if they do that and then we end up with incredibly rigid train sets on account of it,
So what I'm hearing is they should buy 611.
they should buy 611. They should run it on the main line. Right now, it's going to the Buckingham branch, if I recall correctly. So it's going to run on a line that isn't Strasbourg, which is nice. But
Wait, it has a longer run.
yeah, exactly. It depends on what the ticket prices are. It might be worth paying it a visit. I would like to see it. Now that I've seen it tooling around on Strasbourg 3 years in a row, I would like to see it go and like drive at a reasonable speed. But anyway, we didn't come here to talk about 611. But that's my Amtrak stuff. It was just leading up to this big PowerPoint, which everyone should definitely check out, even if you're just going to look at the diagrams like I did. And
Somebody say diagrams.
yeah, I will. Yes, I did. I wanted to get some stuff from the Main Central people for you. I don't know how much of it is digitized or not, but I'm going to talk to the person who runs the website. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to Ojiles for the continuing discussion of high-speed rail instead of the Amtrak long-distance low-speed rail.
Sorry. Sergeant. The other thing Amtrak is starting to look into, especially in Washington and the state of Washington, is the Cascadia High-Speed Rail project or proposal to build high-speed rail from Vancouver to Seattle to Portland and on to Eugene. Kind of the same route that the Cascades, Amtrak Cascades, follows right now. That's another project. Do I think it will happen? I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Listen,
Probably
at
not,
least it's in the
but it is a
discussion.
thing.
I agree that I don't see it happening anytime soon, and I also don't feel like it's the most critical. But that's a state-supported corridor, and if that's what they want to do, more power to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. When I first saw it, I was like, wait, why there? But also, they say they want to make it go 250 miles an hour, so.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It's not.
I'm just going to come out
No, I
swinging
know,
and say
but,
that
like-
that's not going to happen.
Okay, but like, if they're shooting for 250, that means they might get to like 170.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's where the Acellas are gonna end up.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Imagine if they just bought the old Acellas and were like, yeah, this is fine.
Regear them for higher speed.
Theoretically, they can do like 165.
They
Just
do 170.
they can. You said?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so.
okay.
They don't ever do, but
No.
they could.
The infrastructure doesn't support it, but if you're building a high-speed corridor from the ground up, then that's a lot more attainable than trying to squeeze 170 miles an hour out of the Northeast Corridor. And yeah, it would be neat to see them get another lease on life. I know that Amtrak has been pretty quiet about it, but the only things that I've heard have been, no, we don't really. They don't run very good. They need a lot of maintenance. We don't really want to keep them. Like, we're just going to shuffle them off when we're done here. But it would be neat to see them on another electrified high or higher speed corridor somewhere in the U.S. in the distant future, because at least by this point they're proven. All the teething kinks are out. We don't need to worry about what's going to break on them when we get when they get into service. Anyway, do you want to do your last bit?
It's another similar thing, pretty much like Chicago. It's the same sort of thing, but Chicago. They just want to Crossrail Chicago as a project to build high-speed rail in and around the Chicago metro area, as well as the Midwest, through the High-Speed Rail Alliance. Same thing as the last time. It's cool idea. Realistic, probably not, but cool, nonetheless. So, just something like last time.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one, but I didn't look into it too hard.
The Chicago one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the video and I was like, okay.
It just sounds like, yeah, we want to make high-speed rail, and my response to that is, cool, yeah,
Then
Yeah,
do
that's what
that.
I'm thinking. I think I posted that video. I was just like, they they want to do the thing. Like that's a crazy the biggest thing that I was surprised about in that video is like the scope of the project. They
Mm.
want to like dig another level into like the Union Station and this and that, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's crazy.
that's not gonna happen.
I might someday, but damn, I don't know. That's it's a lot.
Certainly ambitious.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that.
for sure. That's for sure. Uh, is Tyler alive?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
alive.
okay, just making sure, because they want to build more interurbans, according to
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah. Please do it. Do it.
We did have one more thing, which I sort of handed off to TJ. I feel like Vert would have had a lot to say about this, which is why I am regretting not getting this one out of the way relatively early. But we were just sort of hopping from one thing to the next. TJ, do you want to give it a little introduction, and then we can just talk about it for a little bit?
Uh, yeah, I guess I kind of just picked this thing because Vert especially said that he had a lot to say, so I was like, oh sweet.
Yeah. Whoops.
So apparently a bunch of ticket offices in like the UK are closing to be like fully digital.
Which is lame.
Holy fuck! This map is.
What, man?
Oh,
What?
God. Let me throw it up. There's a Google map of all of the ticket offices that are planned to be closed.
Oh no, I don't want to. I don't want to see. Jesus,
It's
that's
a
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Goodness. I can't even see half of it because it won't fold in the thing. How do I fold in a collapsed map legend? There we go. Thank you.
But this is interesting to me for coming from the US because like the majority of transit or like trains that I ride don't have ticket offices.
Yeah, that's fair. Although we're talking like commuter rail, which is a little bit less. Like this seems like I don't know what these services are, but I would assume
I
that
mean, it looks like it's like there's like I mean, pretty much everything.
It's mostly intercity.
yeah.
Let's see here. Northern train, CTC, Mountain
Because like I was
West,
looking at
Northern.
some
Yeah,
of the
this is
I was like,
intercity.
scrolling through the video looking at some pictures and it looks like what they want to do looks similar to like the commuter rail stuff that we have here.
Yeah. I don't. I just know that commuter rail is maybe kind of an exception, but if it's like some of these, it's like it looks like it's the only station in a town, you know, or the only
Yeah.
station in the vicinity, and it's like I don't know if these places should. Like, ticket agents are nice to have for many reasons, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the digitization of tickets and all that. I think it's pretty good. I like being able to like buy the ticket on my phone and get on the train. Like even on Amtrak, you can do that. But like at the same time, I understand like for accessibility reasons and just like general like convenience, like having someone at the ticket place to like ask questions and like
Yeah.
like talk with is nice. I think maybe like what my solution would be, like in a perfect world, there would be like you take the ticket people away from selling tickets, but then you have like a customer service booth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
a
I don't
customer
see why they
information booth.
shouldn't also sell tickets as well. You know, for the people that don't have a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry. Just to have them there as a customer service person, have them there to ask questions. I agree on those points.
Yeah, I think East would have benefited a lot from that in Japan. Because we have a fair few stories of him having issues with, because to explain a bit, over in Japan, they've got this thing called a Suica card, which referenced again if you go back to the episode where we talk about the Japan trip.
Mm-hmm.
And that works for East Japan railways. Because the JR group, after privatization, they have a bunch of stuff. A lot of it mostly is interconnected. If you get a JR rail pass, you can use that basically anywhere. A Suica card is more localized to Tokyo and the East Japan Rail network.
Mhm.
But East being East wanted to go on some of the private lines, and some of them use Suica, some of them don't. So there was many a time where he got on the train thinking he could just use the Suica card, and he could not.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, the other thing as well is Japan's a little different than most other countries in their ticketing practices, in that you have a base fare for a certain like station to station line, and then you've got a additional ticket for if you want to take the Shinkansen, or if you want to take a limited express, or if you want to take the luxury like first class seating.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
think-
just little things like that, and connections as well. I think would be really useful just to have an attendant there.
just in general, it's nice to have somebody to
Yeah.
ask questions. Whenever I do train counts, if I go stand out on the platform, no matter what station I'm at, you get questions. There's always someone who's never ridden the train before. There's always someone who just is a little confused or whatever. And on top of that, and this is maybe a bigger thing, but an agent is sort of, not that they are a security guard, but they are a security measure. Stations get vandalized less when there's a person sitting there. And by the same coin, I feel like, by the same token, stations are built better when they have to account for someone is going to be there at all times. Like, a place for you to stand where you're not getting rained on, or cold, or hot.
Yeah.
Looking at the new Pawtucket Central Falls station, and thinking this, and saying, damn, I really wish there was anywhere in this station that was enclosed. It's a brand new station, and it's just a pair of platforms and an overpass. It's a very nice pair of platforms and an overpass, but there's nothing climate controlled there, and I had to stand there for many hours. So, yeah, that's my gripe. I feel like people should be there so that railroads are forced to design stations for people to be there.
But Ellis, what about the homeless people that show up?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. We have to inflict misery on the homeless.
No, for real.
But that's sort of what crosses my mind. And yeah, what about the homeless? Well, if there's an attendant there, you're less likely to get problems, I guess, which aren't necessarily due to homeless, but just unscrupulous people, I suppose. Anyway, that's my rant. Put attendants back at stations. Call it a jobs program or something. Reopen the Westerly station. It'd be nice. I think that wraps us up because everyone seems tired, even though it's the middle of the day. No one's saying
tired.
anything. Wake up, people. We're doing a thing.
Wake up,
Wake
sheeple.
We're doing a sequel. We're back by popular demand.
Well, I wouldn't say popular. We've got a few viewers. Anyway, no. Does anyone have anything maintenance of way related aside from Tyler telling everyone to go to the Century of Steam booth at the upcoming narrow gauge convention?
Do the thing. Come on, folks.
I am probably not going to the convention proper, but I will be at the CRRM when they're running trains. I think that's...
My
And
newest
you'll get
YouTube
a
video.
sneak peek.
What'd you say?
I said support my newest YouTube video that somehow got 1,000 views and is really doing the numbers in India.
I will absolutely put Agility's most recent YouTube video in the comments, or in the cargoes rather. Anyway, let's put this in, get rid of that, and I'll keep in some of the stuff from our long-standing hosts. Okay, whatever. It's just showing up as the YouTube link. It's fine. Buy trading cards. We've got Batch 3 coming out soon. I'm only missing a photo, and that's it. I think the batch is done otherwise. I have to write the blurb for the DDA40X, but that's it.
Did you get the photo for that?
I did. I just took it off Wikipedia. Or Wikimedia, whatever it's called.
Wikimedia Commons.
Anyway. So that's that. What else? What happens next? Oh yeah, latest train on Amtrak. Vert guessed Train 48.
Okay. I have an idea, and it's... Remember yesterday how we were hearing the terrible tale of the Southwest Chiefs and their wonderful meetup at Albuquerque?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, can I get a westbound chief? Because if that guy's still on the system, I'm going to laugh. If not, I'll be very happy.
I was gonna say that too. I'm gonna go westbound chief.
You're gonna go westbound chief? Okay, so we have 2 westbound chiefs and Train 48. TJ?
I'm gonna say eastbound chief.
Eastbound chief. Alright, let's start there. Southwest Chief Chicago. One is 1 hour late outside of Albuquerque, and the other is 4 hours late outside of La Plata, Missouri. Train 48 is 9 minutes early at Albany Rensselaer, so that's not it. And is there not another Train 3 on the system? What happened? Well, there's one Train 3. 7 hours and 12 minutes late at Victorville, California. That's the latest train on Amtrak. Congratulations.
Poor people.
Where did it get this delay? Well, let's find out. It was 2 hours and 55 minutes late in Albuquerque, a half an hour gained between there and Gallup, another half an hour between there and Winslow, 4 hours late in Flagstaff, 2 hours late between 2 hours gained between Flagstaff and Kingsman.
No, 2 hours lost.
2 hours of delay gained, I should say. And then, it gets a little worse from there, a little worse from there, a little worse from there. So, they're almost there. They'll be there by the afternoon today, I guess.
Oh my god.
There's also
That's
a
gotta suck.
3 hour late Empire Builder, number 7, and a 4 hour late California Zephyr to Emeryville, which is almost in California. Other than that, there are some minor late stuff over in the Northeast, and some minor late stuff over by DC. Other than that, pretty okay day for Amtrak. Unless you happen to be on the Southwest Chief.
Been on a late Southwest Chief before.
Yeah, so have I. The real
Crazy.
question is, has
You're a
anyone
crazy
been
one.
on a on-time Southwest Chief?
You speak of a mythical concept, actually.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that's a thing. I think that's made up. All right,
Comment below.
What?
I said comment below.
Yeah, if you've been on an on-time Southwest Chief. All right, Achilles, you're up first.
Oh, because I had a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're freaking racist.
Don't do drugs,
Don't do drugs.
and make sure to check out my YouTube video. That's all. Good night, everybody.
Don't do drugs and check out my YouTube. What a ringing self-endorsement.
Yeah.
Next up is TJ, who I gave a strike, and I can't totally remember why, but it was deserved.
Do drugs
Do drugs.
and check out my YouTube channel.
Nuh-uh.
Tyler, what is your stance on drugs?
Just bring back the Sunset Limited, please.
Do
I blew Ryan's mind last night with the fact that it does not go to Phoenix.
Oh yeah, that was a
Come back.
moment. That was an amazing moment.
Don't let domestic terrorists win.
That's true. If you don't support Amtrak going back to Phoenix, you're a terrorist.
How about you?
The terrorists win.
You're a terrible
Which is-
human.
This is not how timeline's supposed to go. Come on, folks.
Yeah. And I'm going to post an article, as I am wont to do most times, for something entitled, "The One Thing Americans Agree On is the Need for Better Train Service." And I agree with this article. People like trains.
I agree.
Yes.
And we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us, or thank you for joining me, to my co-host. Thank you for joining us, to our audience members. Thank you to Stephen West for running the local base. We couldn't make trading cards without you. Thank you to Virtual Railfan for not giving us copyright strikes or cease and desists.
Not yet.
And in case of an emergency, call Conrail. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Voila, voila.